Alright, so this is in fact the second game here. This is Suomi A, so Tuna playing Team Islands here. Now, I had a feeling that why so Tuna picked Watermelon, but let me see if I can find whose holdback that actually was. No, they didn't specify that, but that's not a huge issue. It's just one holdback each, so it doesn't make too much of a difference. They did forget to draft for this one. So there's one Italian's mirror here, but we're gonna let that pass. An honest mistake. I don't think it makes a... Don't think it's... If both teams are okay with that mistake being made, I'm not going to force them to replay anything. That's just a waste of everyone's time for a league that doesn't involve a prize pool. At least not currently, so... yeah, so we're here with Sunset, with the Italians. And famous for their naval capabilities, of course. And Jupe with the Malay here from the pocket. Malay going up 66% faster through the ages, 3 times the food from fish traps, and the unique technology thalassocracy, or whatever, however you pronounce that, for the docks to fire arrows. I think it's a Castle Age tech, but yeah, it is a Castle Age tech because the Imperial Age tech of the Malay is the Forced Levy, which gives 200 swordsmen only the food cost. Nixishin in the chat, hello. So Malay also a famous naval civilization, of course. They have so many bonuses applying to them for the to benefit in the naval department. Unfortunate lure there for Jupe, but these things happen. It's still close to TC. Might need to force drop a bit to keep villager production going. Ant-Man with the Saracens to the right here. Saracens are famous for their archers that deal bonus damage to buildings, but they also have galleys that fire faster, if I'm not mistaken. So that's a good reason on its own to choose Saracens. Actually, backdock here for the Ant-Man. Could just be for the galleys investment that is going to drop 1 or 2 more docks and mass up the galleys before moving out. It's a bit safer if you're going for the galleys to have the docks in the back, even though it means traveling a further distance. Now for Waiso Tuna, we also have Italians due to a mistake and not drafting the civs ahead of time, but as mentioned, they are both okay with it. So I'm not going to force anyone to replay this one. Now they know, of course, that they need to draft civs per map. In the pocket, no zombie with the Berbers. Berbers in the pocket for Team Islands. That actually gives me landing aggression vibes here from no zombie. That they might want to land and go for the scouts, archers, Castle Age cavalry, because Berbers have a discount to the cavalry units in the Castle and Imperial Ages. But they also have faster moving ships and villagers, so they can dodge fights more easily on water. Choose whenever to take the fights is always an advantage, of course. Finally, Tulendina with the Malians, also giving me landing vibes, or at least early aggression vibes, because Malians save wood for each and every building they drop down, makes it easier to get their docks up and produce fish instantly if you want, and also get more docks up to mass up your units. However, they are lacking bracers, so in the Imperial Age that could be an issue for the Malians to keep up with other naval efforts if they're going for the ranged ships, but if they get past fire ships, they're still going to be fine, of course. I did see a transport ship here in the queue, no zombie with the Berber transport ship in the back here. Gonna transport over the scout and a couple of villagers maybe. So let's just follow this one. See what they're up to. 20 pop up actually, or not 20 pop, but 19 builders and a couple of fish up. I'm getting... let's have a look at the wood disposition here. Is there a barracks up? The barracks is going up. Maybe a bit on the late side. And, oh, where did it go? Here it is, taking a long way around here. And oh, these guys have just been chilling out and waiting for a long while. That's could actually be spotted by Suomi if they're not if they're attentive over here. But they don't have Suomi actually don't have front docks, so they don't have any fish or other naval presence in the frontier. So I guess this landing is going to work out for them. Also a transport ship for Yupe here with Malay, and he has 2 builders moving over. No scouts, just the builders. And is on... Well, it's not on gold yet. But I'm assuming the Malay might want to go for the archers. Here we go, landing successful. Scout patrolling over here for sunset, expecting a landing, so walling off the top side here. That's going to keep the scouts out. 3 villagers. No zombie isn't taking any chances here. Ant-Man also moving out. I think he's going to go look for the landing now. Is this... Oh, no, never mind. It's just patrolling. But... will they spot the green scout here? I don't know. Where's this one? Why another... Why another barracks? What? Scouts and spears then? Color me confused. Now let's see for the other... Oh, they spotted it! Nice catch! Why is Tuna spotting the landing party here, and that ship is just not fast enough to... 2 villagers! Rip builders, rip Yupe villagers, they are going down. And 4 units lost for Yupe total now. It loses transport ship with both builders. Good spot by Tulandina there. While Nozombie is on it with the scouts and spears here. I guess the spears are to defend from the starting scouts of Suomi A as well. Suomi A slightly ahead in eco here. Both Sunset and Ant-Man massing up on the galleys, so Suomi A should be nicely set for naval aggression here, I think, with the galleys exclusively. Let's see the hit and run here from Ant-Man. Taking some good engagements here. Fletching obviously is in, so you need to, so you'll deal even more damage and more importantly have that extra range that Fletching brings. Here comes the range as well. Full on feudal madness from No Zombie here. So Ant-Man basically matching the armies of the Malians here. I'm assuming there's 3 dogs for the Malians and there's actually 4 for the Ant-Man. So he's once the eco allows for it, Ant-Man is going to have better production than the Malians here. Although the wood savings of Malians for Tulandina makes it easier to produce ships earlier because of those wood savings. Spears and archers for Yupe here as well, holding off the aggression nicely. Did wall off early on here, so his home economy is safe. Could scramble up the tower here if need be, but for now that is perfectly safe from both archers and scouts. So not any issues for the Malay here. Ant-Man is going Castle Age here, using that market of the Saracens to his advantage, which will allow for War Galley and Bodkin Arrow and a solid lead to the Castle Age over Tulandina, against whom is currently having a 1v1 fight on the waters here. Slightly fewer numbers for the blue player. 4 docks producing for Ant-Man now behind this. Suomi with slightly higher TC time, idle TC time total here, but shouldn't be too much of a consequence right now. Eco count is dead even, as is the military situation here. Scout and Skirms chasing the Malay archers here. Now Yupe is playing land defense here, and is also mainly the only player playing land defense. Yeah, no land army production for anyone else than Yupe here, but it's enough. It's 1 versus 1 here, green versus orange. Left hand side we have some naval engagements as well, where Sunset has the better galley numbers here. Also going Castle Age, perks of being the Italians, but it's an Italian's mirror, so they're both on the way up here. Actually, Razor is going up earlier here, but has slightly fewer numbers though. So if Sunset is just able to preserve the numbers, get to that Castle Age, and avoid fights until the upgrades are in, Sunset should be just fine here. Now Yupe is going Castle Age as well, so beating the Berber's pocket to it here. Ant-Man with War Galley and Vodkin Arrow coming in here. Castle Age 1 minute 40 seconds away from Tulendina, which is why Blue is pulling away the galleys here to preserve the numbers until the upgrades can kick in. In the meantime, the Ant-Man will use the Saracen's galleys to take out buildings. Just double checking to see there if Saracen's galleys also get bonus damage against buildings. Not quite the case. No demolition ships, or rafts I should say, in the docks here, so Ant-Man is safe with his aggression. Bodkin Arrow is in, the War Galley has 7 attack, or bonus attack against buildings, so these docks are going down at a rapid pace. Tulendina might be forced to redock in the back here to keep up here. It's mainly skirmishers for the Berbers here on land, and a few archers. Keeping Yupe busy, of course, so not going to see any huge Malay naval investment here, but the fish eco is running regardless, so I'm beginning to like Suomi's position here. We need War Galley and Bodkin for... Well, Bodkin is... No, it's not in for Sunset yet, or is it? No. So we're gonna need... the upgrades and preferably more numbers for Sunset here to keep up with Razor. But at the same time, Ant-Man is pushing Tulendina nicely, so Tulendina getting War Galley for those 16 remaining galleys, but losing the docks, meaning that replenishing of armies is not going to be easy here for the blue player. Deal, gotta go forward. Well, yeah, you're right. There's lots of fish and eco going undisturbed here, so a Razor with the numbers advantage has been a little bit passive here. Was earlier to the upgrades and is chasing now. Still has the numbers though, slightly over Sunset here. 1 fire galley in front here to soak some War Galley fire as well. Let's have a look at the upgrades here, if either of them have any defense from careening, but doesn't seem to be the case. The docks are going down though. That is going to cripple Sunset's production, who is now extending into another TC on land to adjust for the fish that might go down soon. 3 TCs for Razor as well with the Italians. So, of course, you can't rely on fish for the whole game. Even if you control water, it's going to be less efficient as the fish gets depleted. So you need land economy as well. And land defenses with your town centers in the event of a landing. Ant-Man still with the War Galley numbers lead over Tulendina, but the armies are spread out. So Ant-Man could be at risk of being hit at home base, or caught off guard at home base here by Tulendina's masses. Another transport ship here, a forward DC from the zombie. Nice. claiming the woodland here. Wood is a very precious resource on Team Islands. It's going to run out if the game goes long enough, and then you only have your trade to rely on. Whether you trade on land or we trade cogs on water doesn't necessarily matter. Or the TC doesn't go up though. 4 villagers for no zombie, but they have to bail. They're pulling away. They're seeking refuge in the transport ship while the Berbers player is pumping out the knights here. Big fight to the north. Ant-Man is here now, and Sunset comes from the other direction. Good teamwork here. They're going to make the pinch. But oh, hold on, it's not. I thought that was Ant-Man. I take it back. It's not a good fight. Ant-Man fighting alone there against Teal, and Sunset a bit out of position there. Now the army situation for Waiso Tuna is ahead. But now Ant-Man could take advantage of the fact that the blue armies are over here, so he could go back and start harassing blue's economy and docks yet again. And that TC is going to go up for no zombie, which will allow for builders production on the enemy island for the green player. And stealing some of the wood as well, which is probably the overall idea with placing a TC just there. Just plain annoyance here on close to Yupe's side. Teal is flaring the backside, maybe telling someone to get some more dogs up or something. Teal and blue working together, they're taking out a lot of Suomi's fish here now. Suomi, as you can see, have more eco units total. They were earlier to the multiple TCs as well, I think, but now they're losing the fish. They have stabilized with farm eco on land here, so when they're losing the fish, not that big of a deal. It's only bringing in food, the fish eco. Always want to keep it, of course, with all of the deep fish on islands maps, but having stabilized on land makes a difference here. Elephants from Yupe is going to force no zombie to react here. Of course, the zombie could now switch into some camels. No, not really an option with all the crossbows from Yupe here. But otherwise, camels could have been an option against the Castle Age elephants here of the Malay. Loading into the transport ship again. No careening here, so no extra capacity. What's the naval situation like now? About 50 something ships. Yeah, 10 more warships at least for Waiso Tuna here, but Ant-Man and Sunset are gathering in the south. Since the left side naval situation looks a bit dire for Sunset, but preserving the numbers here, able to take a fight together with Ant-Man to try and reclaim the waters. Ant-Man did get some hits in here earlier, and is now going with that small group here to try and find some fish to raid in the back. Actually going full circle here to scout for back docks, try and find exposed economy to hit, whether it be on the water or whatever you can reach on land with the galleys. They do work. Galleys, they have 6+2 range after all, so you'd sometimes be able to hit woodlines or this farm economy here. Definitely raid potential here for Ant-Man, who is now at 36 war galleys, which is more than Teal at least. Blue is at 18, red is at 14. They're somewhat matching up here while orange and green are battling it out on land, but Yupa definitely defending well here and keeping the aggression out, keeping the aggression away from his teammates as well, so they can focus on the naval fighting. Oh, that's expensive. 100 food for 215 gold. They're going Imperial Age here though. A Marley with the 66% faster uptime. That is going to unlock both Elite War Elephant and Arbalest here for the Malay. I see some Genoese here as well from Sunset, having 2 castles up. That renders the Berbers cavalry somewhat useless, because the Genoese have such high bonus damage against cavalry. Not very high, but 5 and +5 and +4 respectively against cavalry. Now front docks going up for the Malay here, which UP is going to make galleons or the likes here. I guess Tulandina now with the landing party here for the Malians, and he's going to go for the infantry. Going to go for the Malians champions here, champ scarls as they call them, with that extra pierce armor they get per age starting in the feudal age. 280 to 285 eco situation, very much similar here. Military situation, not so much. It's partly because of the land armies of UP here, but 74 to 28, that's the numbers you never want to see if you're the losing party. It's triple the army for Suomi though. They've reclaimed the waters. They're getting to the Imperial Age ahead of their opposition, largely speaking. Seeing fast fire ship here for the Malians, so they do get that, but didn't produce a single one yet, so there's no fire ships to benefit from that upgrade just yet. Lots of war galleys being fielded by Razor here from the Italians, and since Imperial Age is in, we are probably going to see them getting that galleon upgrade as well. However, Careening now coming in for Sunset to give some extra defense, and Imperial Age right around the corner as well would allow Sunset to get that galleon upgrade as well, or yeah. Castle on the shoreline for UP here, dealing with that landing attempt by Tulandina here. The barracks will go down swiftly here. And since Suomi have that Saracen's transport ship bonus as well, the transport ship, if I'm not mistaken, should now be carrying 15 units, because the Saracens give an extra 5 pop space to the transport ships. So you could transport the armless over and start raiding on land if you're able to sneak a transport ship over for Suomi here. Ant-Man's ships also doing decent damage here. Cannon galleons coming in as Galleon is popping in for Sunset here to upgrade these war galleys as well. 32 to 19, so Razor is still with the numbers advantage over Sunset here. However, with Ant-Man's galleons as well, they are in a decent spot numbers-wise here over the teal player. Fast fire ships in the back here for the Malians, so once they join in, and if they get close to Suomi's galleons armies, that is bad news, very bad news for Suomi. You can see that Yupa has that unique tech for the Malay in here. Now the docks are actually firing arrows, so you can't take out the Malay docks with galleons without taking damage from docks arrow fire. Castles going up on the shorelines here. The markets are up as well. Let's actually go to the trade stats here and keep an eye on the trade progression. No trade units made just yet, but the markets are up, so you at least have the potential to. And Sunset is fielding a few trade cards here. Would want to drop a couple of more markets maybe for ease of pathing and speed of trade units production. Oh, Ant-Man is losing some elite cannon galleons to fast fire ships here. That's something you not want to see here. Suomi a just 20 army lead here now, but they have dealt with the landing, so now they can focus fully on the naval situation. The transport ships are also prepared here. 25 capacity, in fact, for the Saracens one, because of the Saracens bonus and the fact that the Ant-Man has careening and the other proper dock techs in there. I think I saw him getting dry dock as well. And good trade rates for food now, selling food for gold. As Ant-Man slings over some food to Yupe, who may be thinking about a forced levy landing here eventually, if it's possible. Then you could make life awkward for the opponents with 200 swordsmen, trash 200 swordsmen on land. Getting shipwright, speeding up the, or getting, I think it speeds up the ship's production. I don't remember what these texts do, I'm very sorry about that. Don't play enough naval maps, but it's definitely an important one to get, and you're at a disadvantage if you're lacking that upgrade in the Imperial Age, playing a naval map. Ant-Man and Yupa scrambling at more docks here. As Yupa completes the docks, that means that we have more Malay docks firing arrows here. Careening coming in for the Malay as well will be giving the galleons extra defense. More castles going up. And so enemy ships can't move too close. You'll see the castle fire. I'm guessing that... what's that called? Heated shot could come in handy here as well, actually, for the fortifications on land. More castles along the shorelines for Suomi A. It's becoming increasingly hard to raid them at home base. Even if the army situation now is ahead for Tuna, they will not be able to make a landing and obstruct Suomi on land here, at least not easily. Sunset is back on the fighting here with 32 galleons as well. And actually only half the armies on Razor here, but since Ant-Man is also feeling the galleons and heavy demos, and Yupa is getting into the naval fighting as well, so we might be able to get somewhere here. That's a nasty amount of elite cannon galleons for Razor though. Tuna at 150 military, while so we are only at 90 something for the time being. Portuguese band, yeah, at least not picked. No bands, just picking, but they made a mistake here. Italians shouldn't be mirrored, but civ draft for the league is 3 civs for each team per map, and you draft for each map. So there aren't any bans, but of course when you pick a civ, the other team can not collect it. So. Fast fire ship, but heavy demos from the Saracens, which means that the fast fire ships can not get too close, especially not as the heavy demos increase. Oh, that's only one demo for one ship there, not ideal. As the fighting gets more intensive, we get more laggy games as well. Good production now, shipwrights coming in for Sunset as well, benefiting the production further. 8 or 9 docks producing here, fire ships from the Admin. So he doesn't have fast fire yet, though I believe the Saracens get it. And Tuna, they are lacking a bit in economy now, but his trade starts to run for both teams. It's actually slightly better for Tuna here, the trade numbers. Could be significant for the gold situation in the long run. Ant-Man, Big Boomer, 152 eco units and 29 military currently, 70 military for Razor. So Razor is really bringing it up here. Big demo shot there, not bad at all. And now having some of those fast fires out of the way, Ant-Man is free to engage here. He keeps the heavy demolition ships close as well. 140 damage. Seems to deal decent damage to buildings as well, so could be used for that purpose once you clear up the ships. Topside here, Sunset is in a bit of a struggle though, but the reinforcements are coming in rapidly here. This is essentially a mirror matchup between them, and Razor pops out twice the numbers here. This is dangerously close to Suomi's trade route as well, so they may need to rebuild the markets further down here. Wood lines getting scarcer, but still not to the point of running out of wood here. So don't think that's the case for either team. Could have a quick look here. Nah, lots of wood lines left. We're far away from the depletion of all wood here. Still stones and golds left to collect, but of course they want to get trade running, so they have gold access for further ships and army production. Population, slight population lead for Suomi, but only about 20 villagers here between them. And slightly behind the military, but 130 to 150, not necessarily a big deal here. Fast fire ships from the Malay, and lots of them from UP here. Could shake things up a lot, but it's fast fires versus fast fires, and green seems to have the numbers here. So look at all this fire! Look at this fighting, but the HP advantage definitely for the green team here. And they are fighting close to Suomi reinforcements though, so that is of course a concern here. So the trade has been hit by the cannon galleons here, so as we can see, Sunset is replenishing the markets further down, hopefully outside of range from the elite cannon galleon that have a whooping 15 range. Docks about to go down here. Sunset scrambling up a castle here. Could it be a means to buy time rather than to protect the docks here? Because the cannon galleons will easily deal with that castle as long as Razor has the army numbers here to engage. But there's lots of docks, so Razor will also be fighting at a disadvantage here. Fighting in the midst of the reinforcements of Sunset. Actually now finding himself outnumbered here for at least until more ships can come in, and there's a big fight in the middle intersection here where Razor needs to be as well. Quick look at the eco tabs here and the resources. Ant-Man floating wood and food, so he could either sell or sling as need be. Slinging allowed in the Imperial Age, but not before, with the exception of allowing a teammate to rebuild a killed easy town center. Don't think cannon galleons are very efficient at taking out enemy ships, but maybe okay, it's not too bad. But Sunset is reclaiming the position over here because Razor has had to field armies to the middle. Fast fire ships and galleons at work here still for YSO Tuna. They're still with the military lead as well, and they've been catching up in economy as well. They've in fact established a population lead of about 40 here. 56 minutes in, and we're definitely not able to crown a winner just yet. That is a lot of galleys and cannon galleons as well for Razor here. 12 elite cannon galleons and 67 galleys. Really taking responsibility for the naval fighting here, and Sunset is lagging a bit behind the numbers. Let's have a look at the eco situation again here as well to see. The gold is especially interesting here. Yupa is the one. It seems a bit low on gold, 11 on gold here, and doesn't really have a lot of trade running here. But the gold situation is, I mean, they're probably with lots of units in the queue here for YSO Tuna, but they're seem a bit low on the gold as well, so maybe the trade hasn't kicked in just enough yet. Relic gold income for Sunset and the Ant-Man as well. Shouldn't be too significant, but that little trickle still makes a difference in the overall picture here. Now Saracen's faster firing galleons at work here against the fast fire ship with Ant-Man fielding the galleons as well. Sorry, Saracen's faster firing galleons and Yupa with the galleons, mixing up the civilizations here, but they seem to get a nice trade against the Malians' fast fire ships here. Malians will not be making galleons, of course, because they are lacking bracers, so they are basically their responsibility is the fire ships here. How about landing again from the Berbers here? So somehow no zombie managed to land. There are cannon galleons here as well to deal with that defensive castle trying to stop the landing. This could be awkward for Suomi A. This is a means for Tuna to get some raids in on Suomi trade and cripple the gold income so that they can't keep up the naval army production. Jupe able to complete the castle, also good reaction there, but the elite cannon galleons of Razor should still easily deal with the castle. Look at how quickly it's going down here. There's still only knights for the Berbers though, and no, yeah, plate boarding armor is in, but no attack upgrades. Let's have a look at no zombies eco setup here. If we're going to see Hussar and yeah, it could be Hussars. Maybe we'll need the 600 gold to get to that Hussar upgrade. Not just one, but two defensive castles here. And Sunset does have the potential of Genoese crossbowmen to deal with the cavalry raids here. Meanwhile, Teal still fielding naval armies like a champ here. Fast fire ships from the Berbers as well. Now they also move even faster than the generic ones. 181 as compared to wherever the others are. Yeah. Worth it for the idle time. Yeah, I guess. Wait, what's this? Oh, you're trapping the villagers, the green villagers. Nice one. Actually, Yupe is walling in almost every direction for the cavalry of no zombie here. That's some great land attention from Yupe. A couple of castles here obstructing the, or I mean, disallowing any entry of cavalry here, and they have to loop the long way around. In the meantime, there are 3 castles for Sunset to maybe get some Genoese out, but still got some naval armies in the queue, so fighting at pop cap here means that it's hard to get Genoese crossbowmen out. In the meantime, that means that Razor, focusing exclusively on water, will be able to pump out more galleons and again give Tuna the naval army advantage. Wood lines becoming smaller and smaller here now, and there's barely any wood left on the map. What's the wood situation for Suomi? Empty, 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 empty. Wow. Actually, it's even worse. Are Suomi out of wood? I mean, they obviously still have the trade, but if a trade gets raided and they don't have wood, this might be the last woodland, and that's very much reachable by naval armies. So maybe lack of wood could be the win condition for the opposing team here. I mean, you need to deal with the trade as well. Oh, look at all these dead villagers. Deleted for pop space, obviously. Wood going to become a huge issue. Already becoming an issue here for Suomi, maybe. Let's see. Ant-Man very low on wood, at least. But Sunset might, could maybe sling. Aye. So this is the last wood left on the island for Suomi here. And now the Malians castle coming with landing here. They really want to deny the wood, but the naval armies could help with that as well. However, Ant-Man is fighting like a champ here together with Jupe. And here comes the castle on the shoreline instead. Means Tulendina could get trebuchets out on that. If this castle goes up, that is. Could get trebuchets out and deal with these further inland castles of Suomi A. Both teams at around 450, 500 pop here now. Now yet again tied for military numbers, but Tuna, significant eco lead here. Could be having a better trade. Let's see the trade stats if we can retrieve them here. What? What? 107 trade cards? Are you kidding me? I guess it makes sense when you don't have lumberjacks anymore, or don't have gold miners and don't have. I mean, it's basically you're trading all of the villagers for trade carts. Wood is about to deplete for Tuna as well, right? So might as well just double up on the trade. But I don't think just keep skewing trade units here. Pulandina must be having ridiculous gold income. 83 on gold, 51 wood, and those are obviously going to run out as well. No food, no stone, but on the end game in the end game for Team Islands, you're relying on the trade eventually anyway. We are actually approaching the point where there is no wood left to harvest for either team, and the light cab masses here of no zombie is making that wood collection, the remaining wood, awkward for Suomi A here. Scores quite comparable, but trade massively ahead for Tuna. And it is Tuna assuming a presence on Suomi A's side here. Genoese and Trebs here to push back the landing though, so maybe they can stable. What happened to army numbers? I guess the land focus of Tuna has impacted their naval situation. Teal has really low galleon numbers suddenly, so the fast fire ships and galleons must have gotten some very good trades in here. Maybe demos. I missed that. I was too focused on the landing situation here, but Suomi are cleaning this up. They are way below in total population now, but they're ahead in military. So maybe they could still turn this around. There's still a huge fight going on in the middle here though, but Suomi A seems to have the military advantage. Can they turn this around? Do they even have the eco to perform a landing if they clean up the naval masses here on Tuna? It's 11 docks producing for Razor here. Redemption for the zombie. I don't even know what redemption is going to... Redemption, Theocracy, Atonement. Going big time on the monks now. Is it going to try and convert ships maybe? Now this has me puzzled. Suomi A 80 military to 57. They are down 170 in eco, but actually what's their resources like? Sunset is really low on wood and gold and everything here. The trade cards, however, 48 trade cards for Sunset, so there's definitely gold income. Woodlines will be running out here, and soon these villagers will either have to resort to farming, but why would you farm when you could, when you're going to have to buy wood to replenish them all the time anyway? Yeah, they're going down, but that's allowing for more pop space for military for Suomi A. Their population is diminishing more and more though. And they're then claiming a last hurrah for the middle control here. Castles going up on the shoreline for Tuna. 200 pop for Tulandina. No military. It's 161 trade cards and 39 villagers. What is this? I'm assuming it's gold sling, right? Slinging. Which is, of course, allowed in the Imperial Age. Tulandina taking huge responsibility for the trades here, and as presumably allowing the teammates to field more units to the battlefield, so that they don't need to have nearly as many trade units rolling. That has to be the reasoning here. 48 and 58 trade to 161, and there's them. Tulandina's buying wood and selling away, and it's going to be interesting to see the trade stats for this one, especially for blue. Yeah, we should see if we can see the APM here, so it would be fun. Eco APM, no military APM for Tulandina, just leaning back and slinging resources here while the others are struggling for world domination. So try to make some monks here and get some conversions in. Easier said than done, because the galleons have 7+3 range, so monks have 12. So if you can go too... If the monks get too close, of course they will be taken out by the naval armies. Look at the prices! 100 wood now costs 587 gold. Look at this. Look at this. Almost 500 wood. 500 gold for wood. They're all buying wood because they've completely run out of wood on land. It's out. It's done. Actually still mining a bit of gold here to Landino. How many gold? Well, it's the middle where the big battle is going on. Again here, Tuna matching Suomi's military numbers. Suomi still has the trade running. That hasn't really been compromised. The markets are still up on either corner of the map. They even rebuilt the markets up north here to further extend the trade route, which is returning probably how much? Can we see that? 68 gold per trip. Monks desperately trying for conversions here, but not entirely succeeding. 69 to 66 military now. Tuna still at eco, but most of this eco is Tulendina's gold trade here. Wood price is just extending further. 700. Are we going to get to the point where wood costs 1,000 gold, 100 wood costs 1,000 gold? I gotta stop looking at the Saracens market. I need to see one of the other markets. Why is the gold more expensive for... Oh, okay, that's the buying cost, maybe. I see. So Tulendina is buying... buying wood and then slinging it. Man, those trade stats are going to be off the charts. Monks! Monk! I need a monk! You're supposed to outrange these boats. Don't get too close to the shoreline, you idiots. And we have another landing, but the Genoese are here to meddle in with that. No castle up for use at sunset. Here are the Genoese to take out the blue landing villagers. So Tuna yet again failing to claim the land of Suomi A and get into the trade. And they're also still fighting for the water, but Suomi A's total population is looking... worrying here. It's 217 to 4, and they're at half pop now, Suomi, but they are hanging in there. They're also only 2k score behind. Score is lying in many cases. And there it is. Suomi taps out and calls the GG. They are too low pop compared to their opponents, but what a ridiculous game. So much back and forth. Nice fighting here, but how many trade cards in the end? 167, and then just a couple of monks and 25 builders. Wow. Can't wait to see the trade stats here. Ant-Man and Razor, the highest scores here. They were fielding the most armies in the naval fighting as well. KD 900s and 700s here. They really had some huge battles going on here. You see heated shot coming in for the fortifications. So Redemption, I don't quite understand that one. Maybe planning a massive monks version land, convert buildings where we can. And let's have a look here. Is the tribute stats to Nina slinging about 10k resources, I guess, to the teammates. And yeah, relic gold making a difference here. Trade profit 48, almost 49,000 trade here. Then we have the uptimings and the society score. And APM for those interested. Some peaks here and there, but otherwise seems quite similar between the teams. GG.